So it is just about day four at lunchtime at the Optus Stadium in Perth, and India are closing in on a remarkable victory that we are seeing. Australia undone yet again by the brilliance of the Indian bowlers, and because of that, Usman Khwaja and Steve Smith have fallen cheaply yet again. This continues Steve Smith's woeful run in the last 1 year, and because of that, now Australia are staring down the barrel. They have lost 5 wickets but have gone past 100. They still have to get over 400 runs to ensure that, yes, India will have to pull off something of a miracle indeed. But Australia are staring right down the barrel. I mean, they have lost 5 wickets. Travis Head is looking very good at 50. He scored a 50 yet again. He continues to hurt India, but on a tough wicket, he's the only bright star that is there, as has always been the case when it comes to Australia. But plenty of question marks will now arise over Australia. I mean, the bowlers really messed their lines up. They just did not get going. They look totally short. And if you have to look at a 300 plus run defeat that Australia are staring at, a lot of questions will be asked about how they can be so incompetent about it. Because Australia did not play any kind of test cricket or first class cricket for close to 6 to 7 months. Their last test was in February, and after that, February, March, after that, they didn't play any kind of red ball cricket. They only started playing the Sheffield Shield about October. Now, after that, this was that the vital preparation that they needed for the Border-Gavaskar Trophy? Apparently not, because the batters have looked totally out of depth, barring a Travis Head. Mitchell Marsh, to a certain extent, in this innings has looked okay, but Steve Smith, Usman Khwaja, Marnus Labuschagne, everybody have just fallen by the wayside. And fantastic effort from Mohammad Siraj, from Harshit Rana, from Jasprit Bumrah. The trio are really bowling well. And you have to understand that there is also Akashdeep and Mohammad Shami waiting in the wings. So India's bowling depth is coming to the fore. The batting, as always, it has exceedingly exceeded expectations in Perth. Yashasvi Jaiswal has surpassed Vijay Hazare for the most runs that you got at such a short period in time. Then Virat Kohli breaking the jinx yesterday, 103 that he scored his 30th Test match run, and having surpassed it in Perth, he surpassed Don Bradman. So that's why now, barring Brisbane, Virat Kohli has gotten 100 everywhere else in Australia. So that's why it's only a summation that yes, he had a blip, in form. Still tougher challenges await him for the Adelaide Test match as well. So Virat Kohli's form, everybody else, it's really turning out to be good. 1-0 when we look at it is all but certain for India at this point in time. But if we have to not get ahead of ourselves, let's make one thing clear that it's a 5 match test series, 4 matches still remain. So that is why this is a very, very good situation that India are in. Australia are not going to find it any more easier in the second session as well. You might see a cluster of wickets fall, and that is why not good news at all for the Australians. So they are staring at a big, big loss, and they're staring at a lot of questions, but they've got a 10-day break. Will they bounce back and recover in time for that? That we'll have to see. So Australia are 5 down. Travis Head is hit a 50, but I think it is only the final resistance that we are seeing. And then after that, you're going to see a cluster collapse. Josh Hazelwood also yesterday stated that yes, we are already preparing for the next test because it seems like this test match has gone away from them. Now, as far as the IPL Mega Auction is concerned, today is day 2 of the IPL Mega Auction, the final day at this point in time. You're going to see some more big buys happening. There's going to be Washington Sundar, there is going to be Akash Deep, and all those other players who are going to come into the fray. You might get good money for them, and that is why it is going to be a big, big situation on day 2 of the IPL Mega Auction. Now, from player number 117 onwards, you're going to see the accelerated auction. And today you will see Mumbai Indians and Royal Challengers Bangalore mostly go window shopping for all the players that are there because those two have the highest budgets even now. But yet again, RCB's strategy of buying the players and ensuring they did not get the best of the players, yet again is confounding a lot of people. I mean, you had 83 crores You had the chance to buy anybody that you wanted. Why on earth couldn't they have gone for all the other big players? They even let go of Abhinav Manohar. 3.2 crores. I mean, you could have bought. You managed to bid this much for Venkatesh Iyer, but then you didn't bid for Abhinav Manohar Sadarangini at all, who's a better batter in that sense, a better all-rounder when you have to look at it. And Venkatesh Iyer, if they're looking at an all-rounder presence, I mean, I'm sorry, there is a tweet that Doda Ganesh has put out that yes, he's not bowled much, Venkatesh Iyer, and his economy rate is 11. Why are you utilizing Venkatesh Iyer for if you have to look at all-round exploits? He is a batter primarily, but you're looking at a captain at this point in time. So this is a really big situation we are seeing in the auction. RCB continue to confound. Yes, Mumbai Indians did have a big buy in Trent Bolt, but apart from that, it's been a very, you may say, a very low-key auction for both MI and if you look at it. So MI, RR, if you look at RR had the best buys, but the team that shone through the IPL auctions was CSK and SRH. SRH, what a team that is looking at this point in time. CSK also, they made some smart buys, typical CSK, but credit to KKR, with the funds that they have almost gotten back their core. Their core that helped them win the 2024 IPL title, barring Mitchell Stark, that is now very much intact. They've gotten Weber Varoda, they've gotten all the others. Angriksha Raghuvanshi is there. Today, you will see some of the other uncapped players. There's also Bhuvneshwar Kumar, there is Daryl Mitchell, Marco Jansen, Gerald Katsia. Will 42-year-old James Anderson get a bid? That we don't know. But if you say, if people will ask me, is Anderson getting a buy? I honestly think no, he's not getting a buy at this point in time. So this is the current situation when you look at IPL Mega Auction. Main priority will be the Border-Gavaskar Trophy match because that is a historic win when you look at it. So whenever that happens, we at Sports Today will go live immediately as that happens. The auction can take a back seat then. So yesterday, day one, the main highlights were Rishabh Pant 27 crores, Shreyas Iyer 26.75, and this is a big thing. And Venkatesh Iyer, the Iyers themselves combined to give you close to 50 crores. 50 and a half crores. That is huge indeed. So Shreyas to Punjab, Venkatesh to Kolkata. It is really a massive feat indeed. So Mega Auction Day 2, that's also going to be taking place. We'll be bringing you the updates live as and when it happens. So that is the IPL auction. Today is another big day because the World Chess Championship is beginning. Gukesh has been, he's now starting with white at this stage. So the format is such that a player will get white on all the, on subsequent games, and then you can get into black. So he's drawn white. So Gukesh is going to start off with white. It begins at 2:30 p.m. IST today. And that's why this is a huge step that we are looking at. Dommaraju Gukesh, can he ensure that he becomes the first Indian after Vishwanathan Anand and after 12 years to win the World Chess Championship? It all begins today in Singapore at 2:30 p.m. IST. So this is another huge feat that we are looking at this day. So I'll take a couple of comments that is there. This is the first 50-plus score for Travis Head in the fourth innings at home. Even vastly experienced Smith has scored only one 50-plus score in the fourth innings at home. Yeah, which shows that fourth innings in Australia is never that easy. Now they are pressured to perform. Shardul Sasar saying they are pressured to perform, and their openers are not firing, and the bowlers also too shaky. I think they're not playing any kind of red ball cricket for 8 months has really hurt them, and now they have to adjust very quickly. Darshan is saying there'll always be resistance until Stark, as always. Might even get to 300 if those partnerships holds between Marsh and Head. Otherwise, it'll be really difficult for Australia to go on and possibly no. An Australia win is out of the equation, Darshan. Let's be very honest about it. They are not winning it at this stage, and India are going 1-0 up. 1-0, Australia down, pressure rising, and aging players, plenty of problems. Shardul Sasar. See, there is this generation of players. If they don't win the Border-Gavaskar Trophy this time, this generation will have that one tick mark which did not happen. That they didn't win the Border-Gavaskar Trophy. But again, they have won so many other titles. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. But yes, A WTC final, I think, will not happen in that sense. Darshan PD saying Daryl Mitchell, Bhuvaneshwar, Marco Janssen, and others still big buys for today. Also, Gerald Katsia. Yes, he is. He is. So, big day for Gear. Do you think this is the least hype for a World Chess Championship match? See, a World Chess Championship match, if you have to look at the Western world and you look at the Indian world, there is quite a bit of a hype when you look at this time around. Because, see, if it's a low hype, I don't necessarily think it's a negative sign. I mean, if there is a big hype and if a player doesn't deliver, we are the first ones to criticize it, isn't it? So, there is a bit of a hype. I mean, we at Sports Today have been regularly doing all the chess updates. You can check out all the videos on chess that we have been doing. So the build up from our end has been pretty big when you look at it. It is a big, big sporting event in 2024 as compared to the Olympics. So freaking awesome. Aiden Markram has been terrible across all formats. Austin Chi is a better option compared to me. Yeah. I mean, he's gone at his base price. So that's why it is going to be a very big thing. Pragnanshu Nayak is saying RCB gonna purchase Bhuvaneshwar, Wazi, Tim David. Don't worry, RCB fans, we are good. I hope they have a better auction strategy on day two. That's the way we are looking at it. Any update on Shami? Well, Shami will have to play Syed Mushtaq Ali, and as I've said, second half of BGT he might come in. So that's the thing. So, sir, if you are an RCB fan, which players would like the RCB to target on day two with rupees 30 crore? Good question. The problem is, Austin, I'm not an RCB fan, but if I have to think practically, I could go for a Mitchell, I could go for a Bhuvaneshwar. With the amount of money that I've got, I will go for these two. I could even go for a Gerald Katsia, but then looking at pace bowlers, that's a big, big problem at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. So I would go for Mitchell and I would go for Bhuvaneshwar. And you're saying Sundar, Janssen, Karan? No, not really. I mean, Karan not in form, Janssen not in form. Sundar, yes, but then Sundar has played for RCB in the past, but then how is the wicket going to be that we do not know? Siddharth, hello, should be loss of 350, 400, disaster for Aussies. What do you think they can change in 11? This low can be compared with Adelaide 2020. Yes, I mean, if India 36 was bad, then Australia are losing by about 300 runs at home, although it is not a rarity that it has happened, and it happened 12 years ago when Australia lost by 309 runs to South Africa at Perth. So that's why it may happen, but it will force a lot of rethinking and it will be their ultimate low then. Josh Inglis is underrated. He's a terrific player. Well, they could go for Josh Inglis, RCB or Mumbai Indians, but then again, Josh Inglis, I don't know. Looking at the way he doesn't seem to have that much of an impact. Yes, he's a good player, but very, very mixed fortunes if you look at Josh Inglis. So, when was the last time an Aussies lost two consecutive tests at home? I think I would have to look back at 2010-11 when England beat them 3-1 in the Ashes. So that is the way we are looking at. That is the last time I can think about losing two consecutive tests. And South Africa 2016, 17 when they lost in Hobart and they lost one more test match. That is the other thing that I can look at. And when you look at it, yes, that is the only time two consecutive tests Australia have lost. Ashes, England, that has happened in 2010-11. They lost Melbourne and Sydney. They won in Adelaide, but they lost in Perth. They were lost in Melbourne and Sydney. You look back at the South Africa series of 2016-17. There they lost two. 2008-9, they lost at Perth and Melbourne. So South Africa have gotten the edge over the Australians for a long time. So, yep, that is the way we are looking at it. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this morning update. It's now we are looking at the second session where mostly you are going to see the victory bugle playing out for India at this stage. What are your views on DC auction? Saddened by end of our team and Rishabh partnership for 9 years. Well, it had to happen. So that's why Delhi did RTM him. But then at this point in time, when the bid was 27 crores, they then said backed out of it. So that's why. Freaking out. There were some close series in the world. Australia somehow managed the whitewash by winning a game. Well, let's see how that happens. But at this point in time, India are in the driver's seat. Doesn't look like it's changing. By the end of this session, Perhaps you may see an India win, or by the end of the final session, let's see how it pans out. So, thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this morning wrap. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Bye bye.